Hey, this is an oral history of the common folk. Today we have Raul, and he's going to share a story with us. So, what do you want to talk about, Raul?
Well, I got a bunch of different stuff I can talk about it.
Well, you
I
were
grew
telling
up.
me about that story at the airport that you almost got deported.
No, this is not in the airport. It's something else. So what happened is that there was this one case about how one person almost tried to get me deported for his own own private selfish reasons. So pretty much the thing is that in life we all have these issues of people or we deal with people. Sometimes bully, sometimes not.
Mm-hmm.
That's like part of
Mm-hmm.
life. I don't know if you ever had that or if anyone
Oh,
had
yeah,
that.
for sure. I feel like that's
I
a pretty
had
universal experience.
yeah, I had that. I had that too. But one specific case that happened was how one person tried to get me deported for his own reasons.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, tried, but never did it. So pretty much what happened is that it was back in 2020. Yeah, I went to it was in the beginning of the pandemic. It was summer, and I stayed at SCAD for a summer camp because I could go back home. So I just stayed there. Some other people I was did the same thing. Very few people, mostly being foreigners, and I met this one guy. Um, I'm just gonna call him A, just to preserve his identity, just make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
So A, he's the most imagine a person who is just a complete selfish, self-centered, and complete narcissist. Like just hands on like that. I mean,
All around dick. That's what you're saying.
he's also very flamboyant. Kind of. I mean, he's homosexual as well to say, but boy, oh boy, he's really he's a complete narcissist, literally.
I hit him already.
Yeah. So pretty much what happened is that the guy was, of course, all that, and he was, very open. But the thing about him is that the fact that he wants me compared to narcissist, the lack of respect he ever showed to anyone, or particularly to me, based on the very aspect of me being, on both racial and even sexual aspect, in other words, for me being, a straight white man, he's like he had a very lack of respect on that specifically a lot. And I remember the last time we spoke with him. The first thing he does is straight out just shit talk about straight males, and then try to compare guys like me into Hitler, pretty much, like out of nowhere.
What?
Yeah, that's literally the first thing he does. He invite me to a study group, and that's the first thing he does. I look at him and say,
It's
"Dude,
ridiculous.
I'm, I'm here. That's not cool.
Yeah.
You can't just go around doing that." The guy look at me and says, "I'm sorry. All the evil people we ever had in history were straight white males. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Trying to compare that now, bitch? Pretty much. I mean, at this point, I was just furious. That guy, pretty much. I was just literally furious. I mean, not only did he disrespect me like that, he also shit. You're giving this shit response like that. I mean, I was at this point just literally just furious. And there was two other people with me. We were like a group of four. So the three of us just got together. Was like, okay, we need to talk to him because he's being really acting like he's being really acting like in a very unacceptable way.
What a dick.
So
Just
so yeah, we went to him. The other two people actually were when they want talking to him. I was just busy in the corner, being more furious after this comment. So it's just like, yeah, hey, you gotta chill. That's not nice. You gotta come down from us. You gotta
wait, hold
stop it.
on. Nobody stood up for you? Nobody was like, "Hey, that's not cool, dude. Can't s-
No,
shouldn't say that
no.
to people."
Well, they stood up right after this whole thing. They were just like, yeah, we're gonna talk to him, like right after this comment. So pretty much what
It's kind
happened
of
is
lame.
that A took it very personal to this point. So much so that he literally decided to grab all his stuff and just leave the table. And we're just like, yeah, I think he's just having some sort of anxiety attack or something. I don't know. So we just did nothing.
So,
2 days.
so
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt, but this guy, you come into a study group, he insults you,
yeah.
and then and then he gets up and leaves because he's has an anxiety attack.
Apparently, because apparently we just went to him and told that's not cool. You can't just do that. You gotta respect people. and he just apparently he got some sort of because he complained a lot that he had anxiety issues, although it seemed that it's not the case. But apparently, I can assume that's the reason why because he just like he had like a crackdown voices and on the side he just left out of the blue, pretty much, literally, and it just never show up again. So pretty much
Seems
what
like that guy has a bad case of main protagonist syndrome.
I can assume. I mean, all it took was just one criticism, and apparently he just loses shit after what's gonna happen next. So pretty
Alright,
much like this is what happened. 2 days later, pretty much what happened is that we start getting news that apparently he was busy shit talking us at this point, like to everybody else in public and on social media.
the
He was
hell?
pretty much just going
What the
around and
hell?
just shit talking about us, making up tons of bullshit, made up lies. He went to the point he was literally accusing me to be a racist white supremacist for no reason, and, and he went so deep to the point he literally went to social media and wrote a whole paragraph calling one of my colleagues. I'm gonna call her T. He called her a whore on social media in front of like, all his followers, pretty much a little whore. And she was so mad that she pretty much just stormed from the hallway into his dorm, screaming at him, and pretty much just asking him to go to hell and shit like that.
For her?
And pretty much he got so deep with this shit, he even went to the point at a point he started accusing her of assaulting him, even though
What?
this was complete horseshit because I was there and I could really tell she did not pretty much just nothing. So yeah, that's how deep this guy was going at this point. And the thing is that from what we saw is that he was trying to pretty much build a new group friend specifically so he can actually just go and talk shit about us and stuff like that. I mean, I know that because he started getting people specific to talk shit about me because of who I am, again, for being for being white and I'm a white man, apparently. And pretty much the thing is that none of that wasn't even working to begin with. And it wasn't working at all because the first aspect is that one, it was a summer camp. So there was only like 20 people. And most of those people pretty much just knew that A was really full shit. Like he really just he could really tell that he was just lying at this point because it was just him against four different people, not actually not five people who pretty much could really tell that he was lying. Not so much so that we actually had a ton of evidence against him, like text messages, witnesses, even audio recording of him talking, and pretty much just him just making up all the stuff. So yeah, so it went to the point that he decided to escalate the whole thing to the point he started threatening us. Threatening my friends with expulsions and threatening me to get deported. But the thing is that it was just a bluff, pretty much. We just knew that he was not going to do it because in order to do that, you need to have a very serious reason for it. Mostly being like sexual assault, harassment, rape, but he had none of that. And again, he
My
had to go.
feelings got hurt. Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. Again, he had like five people against him. So pretty much, he didn't even do it. Pretty much, he didn't even do it. He called off the bluff. So by the end of the day, pretty much what happened is that he was to be just completely alone. We no one to help him, no one to be with him. And the rest of us are just like, okay, you know what? Let's just move on without him. We can just still be friends and stuff like that. We still can be the same group of friends. We just don't need him, and that's what we did. And apparently, after realizing what happened, rather actually asking for apologies, he decided to actually leave with a claim saying that he's feeling terrible vibes. Apparently,
Wow.
and
He
he
left the
decided to
summer camp.
yeah he decided to leave. I can't. I really wonder why he decided to go with terrible vibes. So
Vibes there are not on point.
Pretty- yeah, pretty much. So he
That's
just
so
like
ridiculous.
took out his stuff and go back to his hometown. And it gets even funnier because like a few months later, during Christmas the same year, me and T actually received a text message on Instagram which he's asking for which he's actually apologizing.
Oh
And
no.
the thing
What'd
is
you
that
do?
me and T, we look at this text message and we just laughed like really hard at this point. We were just like, why? after everything you have done, do you really think apology is gonna be enough? Even especially on Instagram. So yeah, pretty much. He's still stuck by his hometown. He can't even get out of his hometown apparently because of the pandemic. And pretty much that's how one person almost tried to get him in the port. Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a certain extent of like, oh, I have anxiety and I have mental health issues that your behavior is excusable, but that was just way overblown.
Well, blunt. I mean, the thing is that I actually went deep on his history, and I found out this was actually wasn't the first time he ever did something like that,
I'm
or
not surprised.
he ever came close to something like that. He used to have another group of friends, and apparently he used to like feel a lot of like complete insane horseshit. That honestly made him look like a complete idiot a lot of time not to a very high stand because man, the lack of respect this guy even showed, combined with the even amount of care he even showed, I mean, he's amazing. He's just very small. He probably is the embodiment of a complete narcissistic uh, guy with a skyscraper size of an ego. You know, pretty much to say.
It's like, what kind of, like, something I always wonder is, I feel like everybody's met people like that in the past. Like, what kind of circumstances lead a person to act like that? Like, you so obviously are a detriment to the people around you, and yet you still continue to act like you're God's gift to man.
Well,
I honestly can't understand it.
no, it's a very complicated. Some people say them more because they weren't exactly um, raised properly, apparently, with more the idea that they are more important than the others, apparently, for what I heard. Some say it's just a sort of like mental issue, actually. Some people actually develop a sort of syndrome that they actually think they're more important than others and just grow to a very exponential sense of complete selfishness. I don't know, it's a long history. But him, on the other hand, is like, I can really tell by the look of him followed by his actually where he was actually raised because I actually did check his history, followed by his complete negligence and ego size. I can really tell that this guy honestly has a deep issue with these other things. So much so that he almost cost me my career and almost caused me to be, you know, target as a type of person on the false accusations, pretty much.
But, like, even the thought of, oh, you insulted me, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna literally destroy your life. That is such like an overblown reaction. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like people like that really just have, improper brain chemistry. Like something is missing. Whatever sympathy aspect of our brain that we have, he doesn't. It just it blows my mind.
Yeah, pretty
But that was a
much.
great story. That was a really great story.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. But
Uh,
thank you, Raul. I'll have you back on the show and can talk about some other stories you have. That was really good. That was a great story. All right, man. You have a good day.
all right. Thank you.